What's up, Fire fam? My name is Kiahonfire and welcome back to Conan Exiles. Today we're doing our Thralls series and continuing on our way. Today we're going to be covering two very important people, that is WERK of the Lost Tribe and ZAVEK. These two do exactly the same thing, but they are found in different locations, and we'll be going over their different locations and whereabouts you can find them, what they do, what they craft, and the qualities of that. So we have our first guy. We're going to look at WERK of the Lost Tribe in this little Cimmerian area. All of his spawn points are exactly kind of together in a cluster, so he's quite nice to farm out that way. So our first location is right here on the top house there, and if we were to move from here and go all the way up past these gates, there is also another spawn point for this guy, and you can see him there again, gazing over the cliff, just doing his little thing. And here's a little map reference for those who want to see. There you go. But if we were to move on through the path up to the next one, I know that probably should have broken my legs, but it did not. If we were to move up a little bit more over here and then just through these gates, there is also another place you can find this guy, and it will be right next to the chicken emote hut. So there he is again, staring out with his little steel truncheon. Not truncheon, sorry, morning star. There you go, he's there. And if you want chicken emote, it's literally just right here. You can grab that at the same time as grabbing one of him. And it's quite a hilarious emote anyway, so if you'd taunt someone, now you can do the chicken. And for reference, on this bit you can see the little 3 UFOs. It's on this first UFO here. Coming away a bit from the main place now, we're going uphill. And uphill we can find Stargazer's Crest. Up here you will find another spawn for WERK of the Lost Tribe, sitting by the campfire, doing his little thing. It kind of looks like this area, it's very barren, right next to the snow. This kind of area here. If you look on the map, you can see it's immediately on top of the little mammoth here, so right there. And that is all of WERK's spawn points. Now we're going to go and look at the other guy's spawn points, and then we're going to have a look at what they craft, since both of their crafts are exactly identical. So we're going to do that. Alright, so we're at our first spot for ZAVEK, and this is at Drifter's Rest, right next to the chef recipe right there. There he is, the little armourer, looking at the campfire, kneeling down. This is his location. I really like this spawn location because it's away from everything and quite simple to get him. And if you want to cross the water, you only just have to go to this side and use that crossing right there. The only thing with this though, ZAVEK comes from exiled spawners, and exiled spawners are quite large and around. There's a lot of them. So there's a lot of farming spots to farm and that kind of thing. To explain it better to you, whenever there's like an exiled crafter on the spot, on any of the exiled areas, then you know that could be a possibility for him to spawn there, and most of the time it will be. He's in camp 5, 7, 8, 10, 11, 14, 15, 18, 19, 23 and 24, and can even come in a purge event in the river biome. But we're going to be looking at all of these spots individually so you get an idea of the kind of location. I have covered these locations in a previous video, but of course if you're new to the channel and you don't know, I'm going to cover them anyway because you're probably just looking for information on a singular thrall or something like that, because what these videos are intended for is to get the information as quick as possible when you're looking at an individual that you would love to tame. So let's go. Just before that, because I forgot the map reference, here is Drifter's Rest, little island in the jungle. Now I'll be honest with you, we have a lot of points to cover today, so I'm just going to be showing you the point it spawns on. He might be there, he might not be there, but I promise you he will spawn there for you, so just bear that in mind. Here's our first spot. You can see the lady with the bag. I am very sorry, let me remove that for you. This lady is where he can spawn as well. There is a lot that spawns there that's T4. It's absolutely saturated with spawns, so just bear that in mind. That's one of them, and they do fight things outside this one, so be careful that you don't mistake him for something else and kill him. And right here you can see Exile Camp number 5. That's where you're going to find them. Coming over to the Crocodile Camp, this is another one that I don't exactly recommend for when you're trying to get things. This area where Colonel the Hammer is also a place they can spawn if I just get rid of him. You can see up on the top of that rock, another one has spawned, and he can also spawn right on the top of this rock right here. But of course, I don't recommend it because, I mean, just look, they're dying to this sheer amount of crocodiles, so... But you never know, you may become lucky, and it might be worth a look. So this is on Exile Camp 7, right on the edge. Now if we come over to this quiet little camp over here, you're going to see this little lady sitting down on the hyena bed. You can also find him in that exact same spot. It is a T4 spawner spot. And this is literally just in the starter area again. And if we're to check the map out, just above Exile Camp 7, the Crocodile Camp, just there. Sometimes things do come and eat them, but it's not very often. Now if we're to come over to Exile Camp 10, you can see this Chosen of Azora is right here. The Taskmaster, that's another place he can spawn on, sitting right next to his little friend. So, which of this location is right here? Exile Camp 10, in the greenery, right there. Coming over to Exile Camp 11, it's right on the edge of the water. You can see that cook on the left, that is another spot this guy can spawn at. It is pretty much undisturbed here, so there is a likelihood that you'll find him without him dying first. And this is just above Exile Camp 10, right here on this little knob of the river. Now we're in Exile Camp 14, and this is another spot he can spawn. You see that guy laying down right over there? That's another area he can spawn at. And that is literally, again, just up from the other two on this little ridge right here. Funny as well, if we're to move up a little bit further, you're going to find this cave. There's another spawner in here for him, and it's right deep within. So I'm just going to run in here on speed. Right here you can notice by this Azura that's making very impressed noises. Very occasionally you can see he spawns on his side as well, right at the back of this cave. So that's another spot you can do. It is quite a nice spot because at the same time you can kill this guy, and this guy will give you bits of his armor and stuff like that. And if we look at the map, that is literally this cave entrance, Sinner's Refuge, in the back. Now we have another spot, literally right on that sleeping bag. She's now gone to go and beat up crocodiles that spawn here. But that is another spawner for this guy. Literally be standing on this sleeping bag. But again, crocodile problems are present. So this area is right over here. Just under the other ones to this side in a little dip right here. Now if we come over here to this dry little camp, you can see this guy on the right, Zeronu the Scented or something. That is another spawner for ZAVEK. Right on that spot, talking to the lady, sitting down, chilling. Quite a safe location as well. So that area is literally just here on this little uppy ridge area. Right on the map. Going over to a slightly more dangerous area now, we have another spawner for this guy. Now you have the exploding guys in this area, and that is a problem. But this guy is literally usually where the ZAVEK guy will spawn, and I imagine they'll probably be running around as well when you're trying to find them. So just be careful about that. You can see he's returning to a spot right now, roughly by the campfire there is where he returns. So if we look on the map, it's literally just above the other area, right here. Camp 19 on the map. Coming over to this other spot, which seems to be pretty empty of angry creatures, you can see there's an Oisin the Smith. The ZAVEK guy can also spawn on that spawner as well. And if we were to look on the map, this area is much further away from the other ones, just in this area edging more into the jungle now. And finally, up the top of this cliff, the one that walks around, he will literally spawn here if you get lucky and get the spawn. The problem with these ones is they do like to wander around the corner of this cliff and go around. So if you're having trouble finding these guys, look around the area. I imagine they will be somewhere, or they might be beating something up, but they do like to go on walkies. And these people are literally just over here. One of the furthest areas out of them all, in Camp 24. Now we're done with locations, we're going to be going into crafting. For these two, you're actually going to need a improved armourer's bench. If we go in our bench and we were to drop either ZAVEK or WERK in there, we're going to be looking for Simmy or Sim. And you're going to see both the armours you can craft out of them. So there's ZAVEK and here's WERK. Both the same kind of thing here. Nothing else at all unless you're looking for Flawless DLC armour. They can also make this too. Now there's two types of this. There's the Flawless Cimmerian Fur and there's also the Steel. So first we'll be going over the fur and first will be the boots. So first we're going to need a perfected medium boot lining, 6 hardened leather and 6 layered fur. Now onto the Cimmerian Fur gauntlets, we need a perfected medium gauntlet lining, 6 hardened leather and 6 layered fur. Onto the chest plate, we're going to need a perfected medium chest padding, 9 hardened leather and 9 layered fur. Now for the helmet, we're going to need a perfected medium helmet padding, 6 hardened leather and 6 layered fur. And for the tasset, we're going to need a perfected medium leg and lining, 7 hardened leather and 7 layered fur. Now onto the steel. We are going to need for the boots a heavy boot lining, perfected, and a hardened steel bar, 6 of them, and 6 hardened leather. For the gauntlets, you're going to need a perfected heavy gauntlet lining, 6 hardened steel bars, and 6 hardened leather. For the helmet, you're going to need a perfected heavy helmet padding, 6 hardened steel bars, and 6 hardened leather. For the chest plate, you're going to need a perfected heavy chest padding, 9 hardened steel bars, and 9 hardened leather. And for the tasset, you're going to need a perfected heavy leg and lining, 7 hardened steel bars, and 7 hardened leather. That is a lot of stuff. Now, if you're wondering how do I get the hardened versions of these, I'm going to quickly show you how you're going to do that. So you're going to be wanting to go into your feats tab onto armor and you're going to need Exile Epics, which means you need level 60 to learn it, and you're also going to need Star Metal Tools to learn it also. You'll find it in there. You can see all the feats can be made on an improved armorer's bench. Once you've learned that, you're going to want to go into your bench. You can make this without one of these guys as well, which is probably easier when you take them out because they're right at the top. And you're going to see the hardened leather is 5 leather, 2 thick leather, 2 alchemic base, and 5 oil. And then we look at the layered fur, it's going to cost you 2 fur and 2 alchemic base. So that gives you an idea of what you're going to need for each component to actually make this armour. So first we're looking at the Cimmerian Flawless Furs. This is the look of the outfit. So here you go. I was also requested to show this in male format, so here we go. This is the male, and it also looks a lot more chunky. But I must admit it does look nice. Now if we're to go into our statistics, you can see this is a medium set of armour. It gives you 440 armour altogether. This armour is gladly a fur, but unfortunately, like some of the other furs, it will give you 2 bars, but this one, it will only give you 1 bar of cold on each item in this set. I don't know quite why that is, because it's quite expensive in comparison to a lot of other sets. If we go into attributes, you can see this gives us a whopping +9 in vitality, so a nice piece of vita armor. Now if we are to go onto the Cimmerian heavy steels, this is the look of the armor. We're starting off with the male, so I can just switch to female and be back to normal in a bit, but this is the kind of look you're going for. And I nearly forgot to show you the female version, but here she is. I really like the chest padding on this lady. She looks proper fancy, but there you go. This is a heavy set. It comes in at 960 armor, so really nice values there if you get one of these. And this also has the weird thing of only having 1 bar of cold protection, which is a bit bizarre, but the durability is pretty decent. And again, it is vit armor. It will give you a +9. But anyways, I hope you really enjoyed this armor video and it taught you a few things. If you'd like to look up more armourers and stuff like that, I have done other videos on a few other armourers that can craft lots of different special things. You can locate most of my guides in my Conan Guides playlist, which will be linked in the description down below, and you can probably find a lot of other helpful content included in these areas. If you have any thralls that I haven't done yet that you can think of and you would love me to do a video on, then I will gladly do one and have a look at them, because eventually I'll be covering them all. But if you want to know one kind of sooner rather than later, let me know, and I'll see if I can put that in before the others. If you like what you saw, please remember to like and subscribe. But anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!